Hi guys, how you doing? I've got this milestone one grade guidelines and rubric up, and the reason I have this up is because I just got done grading milestone one and making comments, and it took me a while. It took me 2 days to get through the class, but I wanted to make sure that I got some really good relevant comments in there because this is the foundation for the rest of your project. So if we don't get this foundation strong and firm right now, the whole project could suffer subsequently. So for those of you who I've asked to reconsider your approach, the reason mainly is that one of the main objectives here of this assignment is to connect works of art that support an identified thesis. Okay, so that means they all need to be connected, an identified thesis. But it continues on to say, and I'll start from the beginning. Connected works of art that support an identified thesis about a significant cultural issue. Okay, so that is where I think a few of us got caught up in the cultural issue. So this isn't just an overview of looking at thematically similar pieces of art or design from different historical periods. This is actually tying it together so that part of that theme is includes some sort of a significant cultural issue. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, do you remember in my example in the video, and my example that I've been using so far is the objectification of women throughout history in art. Okay, so and that thesis would go on to say, okay, so you could say, where does the cultural issue lie in that? Well, the objectification of women. Let me just bring up what I've hang on one second here. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Tying the objectification of women in art into a significant cultural issue. Okay, so that was my example. And how do we do that? Well, mine falls right into a cultural issue because the objectification of art, in my writing, I would show how the objectification is detrimental to societies in which it occurs and how objectification forces women into secondary positions in society. We've seen that throughout history. We still see it today, especially prevalent in advertising. But that would be the significant cultural issue associated with my example of objectification. So I'm not just looking at different pieces of art through history that happen to objectify women. I'm making a cultural, I'm tying it and associating it with a significant cultural issue, that being that objectification forces women into secondary positions in society. Okay, and that part would be discovered through the writing, and of course, I would use the same examples that we used in the first time I went through that video. Okay, so again, those of you who may not be, I'm perfectly glad if you guys want to resubmit. If you're not crazy about your grade and you want to get a better grade, submit and follow my comments. Listen, guys, if you have any questions, get with me. I'll make a video. I'll get with you on the phone. We'll talk. I'll figure out a way to get you to tie this thing into a significant cultural issue. But in some of the examples, you've been asked to kind of start afresh, you know what I mean? Because I don't think that some of the examples, so I guess what I'm saying is just go ahead and read my comments and assess what I'm saying and see if you should maybe consider a new start, or possibly using the thesis that you have, but tying it into some sort of significant cultural issue. Okay, now that cultural issue doesn't have to only be, this is global, folks. This does not just happen to be a phenomenon happening in the United States or some other specific country. It's global, just like our conversations and our discussions and our overviews on the movements that we've been looking at are global. Okay, all right, any questions, guys, let me know. And again, if you don't like your grade, if you're asked to improve on your post, by all means, have at it. I'll be more than glad to adjust your grades. Okay, thanks, guys.